priority and priority foundations a facility has. So a priority is a violation that directly causes a foodborne illness. A priority foundation is something that supports it. So no hand washing could cause a foodborne illness, but no soap and paper towel supports no hand washing. So if the facility has a high number of those type of violations, then they would be an needs improvement type of scoring system, whereas a facility that only has maybe one or two core violations, which is just good practices, and a core violation might be a dirty wall or something spilled on the floor, they would be more of a, in compliance.
So I've got two more. So what is you have to shut down now? Right now, we're not going to give you a chance to.
Ms. Johnson. Well, for me, no water. Well, not just for me. That'll shut you down because you have to be able to wash your hands.
It could also be a rat situation or sewage backup or kind of things of that nature. Maybe the walk-in cooler doesn't work and all the food is not holding properly, so you throw it all out.
My final question. You know there's been a shift in policy around the country surrounding cannabis and marijuana. Should have shook her head. And so we know that there are some places that, when I've seen this around the country, they try to place food inside of a dispensary. So once you get your meds, you get your lunches, and it's all in one. In Detroit, that's not allowed. Have you seen situations where you have had businesses that attempted to do that? We're not talking about edibles, where it's like baked goods that's infused with cannabis and marijuana. I'm talking about, I've heard, the ones I've seen chicken and some actual food.
So there was an instance in Detroit with a restaurant that was selling CBD oil infused drinks and food items. And that is against the food code. And they, all across the state, that is not allowable. So it was instantly like, no, you cannot sell this because of the CBD oil and the percent of actual marijuana. Yeah, the CBD. Yeah.
So I think we have the website, Daniela.
That was me causing all the issues. Aaron is directing me where to stand. So the website is data.detroitmi.gov. You click on public health. There's a button with a cross on it. Click on public health and it will show you the link for the environmental health inspections. I think that's what it says.
We want to thank you. Thank you very much. And also, Mr. We really appreciate you sharing the information that you need today.
Thank you.
All right.
We have handouts. Bed bugs, hepatitis A, those type of things there.
She just went into the real good stuff.
You're fine. I just have one burning question I forgot to ask earlier. You gave us the website address and you said that citizens can call if they believe they're I've seen a health code violation. But are there any plans to roll out an app? You know, because everybody's using their smartphones, and it would be a real quick way.
That would be great.
She takes credit for the idea.
I do, thank you. Oh, Facebook. Oh, it's kind of like Facebook because you can upload to the Then it was yeah, to the health department's Facebook page.
Yeah, Mr. Glenn, my final question.
For those that are
We can definitely get it for you.
okay.
All right, y'all give it up again for Miss Crystal Brown.
I get you two to stand up in the middle for a picture, please. Yes, you are. Reginald. There you go. Thank you.
All right, so Daniela's checking. As I told you all, I'm going to have to leave to go to budget hearings. But Daniela's checking to see where we are in terms of the just took a recess, we were told. We're trying to find out when we're going to reconvene. So I'll be able to say just a little bit more. So I want to make sure I go around the room and be respectful of folks who didn't come today. So we're going to start on this side. If you don't have a question, that's okay. Concern or issue, we're just going to move it around the room. All right? Right here.
Thank you. We can't hear back here. In the Bird Blossom area, we are now concerned about marijuana facilities opening. And what we're going
Reggie. All right, I'm sorry.
okay, in the Bird Blossom area, we are now concerned and schools.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the ones that are opening up, how are they being exempt from moving in?
So
That's a violation, isn't it?
it depends. So there may have at this point they've done that recently, but we would have to get the location from you. We get it. If you get that location to Daniela, we'll follow up to find out if there's any violation, because there are still some that just want to. Them have been given variances by initially the Board of Zoning Appeals, and then later on potentially even the court system. But we have to figure it out to find out.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the location, then we give you a follow-up on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
but the
ma'am.
ordinance
Make
is
sure you get that to
still,
Daniela, the location.
the ordinance is still,
Still 1,000 feet for the park, school, and a church, and another location.
thank you.
Again, I'm Wanda Jones. I have a flyer I want to pass around to everyone that would like one, or take one and give it to someone else.
What is it?
It's Clean My Street. We're going to be cleaning on April the 13th, which is Saturday at 9 a.m. I want
next
to put
Saturday, right?
next Saturday. I'd like to get start at 9. We want to be finished at 11. We're going to clean and just pick up trash because from the snow departing, paper, trash, leaves, bottles. We're not picking up tires and raking grass. We're not picking up leaves, we're picking up trash. From Greenfield to Southfield. From Puritan to McNichols, which is where I live on Murray Hill. As I said before, I'm also the neighbor to Olivia Shapiro, and she's the president for Prairie St. Mary. So I invite you to come out and help us pick up some trash if you have some time. The good news is we're going to serve food afterwards, and the bad news is where's the health light?
There you go. There you go. Don't worry about it.
It's my house, it's my party,
It's all my friends.
and I can cry if I want to. We're going to gather at Inner City Cycles, and that's at Puritan and St. Mary. Also, my partner is Jean Matthews, and her son owns that Harley Davidson repair shop.
Where's it?
St. Mary's in Puritan. Inner City Cycles. He owns that motorcycle shop, so he's making that parking structure. Welcome to us together, and welcome to us to cook some hot dogs, some festivities, some phony ribs, some phony steaks, and baked potatoes. They won't be there. They won't be there. Come out and join us if you don't have anything to do. The flyer has my name on it, and you need to talk with me or any information, feel free to call me.
So now, this is why we always say it's important for us to network and be in the same space with everybody, because we all have things that we need help with. So as we ask for help, we also have to volunteer and provide that assistance as well, because again, that's what makes our community strong. That's why we have so many folks in this room. So we want to make sure you have.
Hold on. Still need you.
Can you take one and pass it down for me, please?
So now, so if you will, tell us again, why do you need, because you live in a neighborhood, your own neighborhood.
Yes.
Why do you need or want somebody from somebody else's neighborhood to come over to yours and help you? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I want you to, like, this is where we have that communication. Why is it important?
We need everyone. She's talking. We need everyone. We need a village. And for some of the neighbors that won't even come out to pick up their trash, I want to lend them a hand. We don't know why they're not picking up their trash. Maybe they're elderly, maybe they're ill, they're at work, and this is 365 days this is going on. And when you come out your car, you will not pick up the trash on your lawn. Someone else will help you with that. Maybe that'll inspire you or motivate you that if I can come to your house and clean your house, or if you come and clean your own property with me, I think you'll keep it clean. I have kids next door, and when I motivate them to pick up the trash on their lawn, they actually get mad if you throw something in front of their house now. They won't tolerate it because they've already done the work. So you throw it and they have to pick it up, they get mad.
So the only reason I bring that up again is because someone may say just what I said.
Yes.
Your neighborhood, I got my own problems.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to actually say that.
Some of you are not taking care of your own problem. I had a lady at a library ask me, can she have some flyers? I said, I'm not in this area. She said, a lot of people will volunteer in other areas because they say about their own neighborhood. Why me? They won't pick up in their own neighborhoods, but they're willing to go and help someone. Sometimes you don't think you're doing enough. And if you do it all the time, you quit.
So do you all participate in the Motor City Makeover as well? That's coming up in May?
Yes. This is one of the reasons I like Together Now, so that I can rally together a team that will be willing to take a project on for the Motor City Makeover in our neighborhood. Garages, people are filling up the empty garages where the homes are vacant. They pulling up, maybe in the middle of the night, and they pushing a truckload of trash into these garages. So we need help.
So what I wanted to do, this is Latrice McClendon, everyone, District Manager, D1. Latrice, if you can tell folks about the Motor City Makeover in District 1, because we're going to set it off. We're, I think, the first group of folks, right, in May this year.
We are. All right. Hello, everybody. So yes, Motor City Makeover is May 4th for District 1. Pickup for your materials will be April 23rd at Crowell at 6 o'clock. If you have a block club, you guys have a project, you have bags and gloves and twine and t-shirts, we'll have a pickup on April 23rd. We are, if you guys have a big project, like maybe you need extra hands or extra volunteers, you can, before you leave today, talk to me about that. Because right now I'm kind of compiling a list of volunteers so that we can distribute them out to different community groups. Okay, the pickup for emergency makeovers at 6 o'clock. Yeah. It's at Crowell Rec Center, which is just the opposite way on last. So anyway, yes. I'm sorry, senior citizen talking too fast. Let me slow down. April 23rd. You will get t-shirts, gloves, bags, yard waste bags, and twine to tie up any branches or things so that it's in compliance to be picked up. If you guys have a project, a specific project, and maybe it's bigger than what your block club can handle, we have volunteers available. I just need to know this project as soon as possible, and I can get you the amount of volunteers. We can recruit some to work specifically with your group. And then after Motor City Makeover happens, you guys will have different sites where you will put the brush or whatever it is that you guys cleaned up, and we will have that picked up out of your neighborhood. Any questions about that?
Do you have a phone number?
Sure, I do. My phone number is 313-236-3484. And if you didn't catch my name, it's Latrice McClendon. And I'll give you guys my email address as well. You can email me. You can text me. You can email me. My email is McClendon, MCCLENDONL @DetroitMI.gov. 313-236-3484. No problem.
Well, since we have you here, Latrice, I know that when district managers were originally formed, it was to deal with blight-related issues. So while you're here, does anyone have any blight-related issues?
I feel like this is a setup.
It was. See how that works?
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where am I listening? Oh, there. Oh, Judy. Hi.
Hi, and how are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, I have an issue on my block with the barbecuing in the front. I was told that there's an ordinance about that.
We created one.
Okay. I called 837. Barbecue. I was told by that officer that there's nothing they could do about it. Why is that?
Where were they? They were barbecuing on the front porch with an open flame. Like, well, where were they barbecuing?
Right. Well, I would say within 5 feet of the house.
Okay, so he could speak probably to the ordinance.
Well, it's not a priority at that time of night. When you talk about 11 o'clock, that's when we have, unfortunately, a lot of stuff going on in the city of Detroit. We're talking about actual criminal activities. And I never want to say that we should be in a situation where we should be okay with stuff like that. But the ordinance does say that you're not allowed to barbecue on the front of your, in the front of your home. Mainly I've got to get the exact language to you, but certainly within a certain feet of your actual house. 10 feet. It's 10 feet. So we did create that ordinance in City Council. That was actually so funny. I was a sponsor of it, but it's been so long ago in my first term. So I kind of forgot the times and distance, but we'll get that for you. But at this moment. And so what we need to do is figure out how to address that individual, that household, potentially the morning after. And that's it's a non-emergency issue. So that's where the NPOs would come in and have that communication, that conversation with that resident. And so I think that's where you change behaviors, but it's not so much, you're not going to get a 911 call response to that location.
To let them know.
Oh, so you actually already talked to them?
Yeah, but they're still doing it.
So we just talked to Judy. So what we decided to do, we're gonna get that ordinance from you guys. I know that Wena sent it to me last year because we had a few issues, and we're going to get a couple people to canvass your block because you mentioned there were several barbecue grills on the front porches.
There's a new neighborhood.
And so So my department, we're gonna team up with, Councilman Tate's office, get that, and we will canvas and make sure people understand with our NPO, the rules. I think that'll be a good step to get people to understand. Some people just don't know that you can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's a new neighbor that just came into the block, and their girl is sitting right on the front porch.
Well, it can sit on the porch. You just can't have it operate. That's the
But
violation.
it's still tacky.
It is very. There's a lot of tacky things that are not criminal. Unfortunately.
Yes, in the last District 1 newsletter, it stated that I could use a telephone number to report a problem on the Improve Detroit app. Since I don't have a smartphone, I called that, I went on my computer, there was a long list of things that I could report, but not a blighted house.
Yeah, it doesn't have a specific blighted house, but you could be specific about what's wrong with the house. Was there something like, was it illegal dumping? Was it?
No, the house has every single window broken out, and it's been that way for weeks and weeks and weeks. But that was not on the list. I could report a tree problem
Absolutely.
or illegal dumping or a lot of other items that refer to a blighted house.
So what you can always do is call me, right? And I will make sure we take a look at that property and see who owns it, like where it is. It could be in the demo pipeline, like get an understanding of the property first, and then move forward on like what we can do to solve the issue.
I think that house has already been on your list for a long time, so it's
Okay, I'll get that address. Yes, I will get that address.
Afternoon, Ms. Latrice. First, I want to thank you because I did make a phone call, and there was a property on the corner of Stout and 6 Mile where my neighbors, as the precinct delegate, complained. I personally went down there, talked to the young men. They were squatting in the property, illegal drugs, illegal activities was going on. And I'm a proud Block Club member today to say that house is shut down and boarded up. And I want to thank you because I was just explaining to someone, they were asking me, how can I become a Block Club leader? And I explained to them that's the most important thing of our community because the chief and the council can't do it all. And we are speak with this young lady right here, we're able to shut down certain illegal activities. We're able to make it comfortable for our senior citizens to live in the neighborhood as well as our children. And if you are seeking to be a Block Club member, it is a very vital and important job, but it helps out City Council. It helps Latrice out. And again, I want to stand here and thank you for that. Called the police because of something. I called my NPO the next day. The situation was rectified. So sometimes it's about relationship, building relationship. It's not what you say to people, but how you say it to people. I've had neighbors that was out. I went up there pleading with them to please cut down your noise after 11 o'clock. We have senior citizens. And they received it. And they were rude teenagers. But they received it from me because of my approach to them. So
I want to make sure that we have an opportunity for folks to have their questions answered because we are getting closer and closer to 1 o'clock. We really are. Like she said, we really are. So, you always do that. Aaron? Take this here.
Are there fines connected to this?
There are tickets that will
There are
be
tickets.
issued.
Now, I want to say, in our Block Club, we have a person. She sends out a letter stating what the problem is and what we are about in the community. And most of the time, we solve that in our Berg-Laza Association just by Miss Lorraine here just sending the letter out.
Community engagement helps. There are some neighborhoods that don't necessarily have a strong association and Block Club. But we always have to keep that in mind. That works. We that's essentially what you said you're gonna do as well, just go out and inform people, give them the information.
Yeah, we can help you with that from our office, so.
You all do a good job.
My name is Mary Rice. I live in the Plymouth Southfield area. I live on Bushdale and I live in District 7. Okay, well, we've been asking for years to try and get someone to come around, to help us to clean the block up. Even with the Motor City makeover, we haven't been able to get anyone, but I go and get the supplies. It's a church at the corner, and the neighbors is in the neighborhood. They all claim and pretend that they're going to help. But when we go out and start cleaning, they shut their door. So we don't have no help, but we've been asking, some of the other districts, and they said they're gonna send somebody, over, because we're like just 2 senior citizens in that neighborhood, in that block. And we keep that whole block clean, just like my house. We've been over in that neighborhood for 42 years, and my house stand out. I got the best looking house around here. No, I'm saying.
So let me ask you this, because again, we're getting a little later on time. So what are you looking for from the department to do?
We want somebody, when that Motor City makeover, just to get church, and we can't get none of them neighbors to come out. So it's just us. Every vacant house around there, so a lot of times we go all the way to the whole end of the block. We cut every vacant lot, everything that's vacant around there, we clean it up, and we don't have any help. We just want some help.
So, I will make sure I connect you with your District 7 manager.
No, we know. I know. You know what? No, you know what? Let me tell you something. All of those there people, I've been everywhere. I'm known everywhere. They all know me. Everybody know me. So I mean.
So what can I do to help? Because I would like to get you some volunteers.
Yeah, that's all we need. We just, when the Motor City makeover comes, just get us some more volunteers. Because you know what? We got a lot of cleaning things that a lot of people maybe don't have. We got a ride lawnmower. Most of them don't have that. We got we got a lot of things, but we just don't have that.
So what I can do, because I know we're running out of time, but what I'm gonna do after this meeting, you and I will sit down. I'll find out what your needs are, what day your project is, and then we'll see if we can get you some volunteers.
So she's ours. You can't have her. I'm just letting you know, she's ours.
You know what? Well, we already cleaning now.
So
Some of the lots.
So here's what we're going to do. It doesn't necessarily happen like that. So what I think, and I could be
So what I'm trying to get
help
to is that
people within the community out to help clean the neighborhood.
You said people with come up in my block.
People within your block, within your surroundings. Is to help engage. We don't have volunteers that we can just call out to go into your neighborhood. That's why we're in this room right now. You just heard over here, they're saying, hey, come on out to our neighborhood. She didn't reach out to the city because she understands that it's not us. We can help go within the neighborhood and try to get more volunteers that identify certain tools that you may not have been able to or certain individuals. A whole influx of volunteers. This is a community-driven initiative that community members have to buy into. So I'm just like to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people, you can tell who care and who
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
care, and most of them around, they just don't care.
But we got to find the ones who do, because you care. So there's some other folks in your neighborhood who are just like you.
No.
We're going to find some folks who are Patricia's going to work with your district manager
All right.
and your council member. Have you called him yet?
You know what? All of those people in those districts, even down in the city county building, they know me.
Yes, ma'am. Any other quick related questions? Because we're going to do lightning round. Quick, because I got to leave in a minute. I want to make sure I get this
Ms. McClellan, I met you at the Ludington Magnet Middle School at our block club meeting, and I was addressing the problems we have with our streets. You thought at one time, and I think the council did as well, that they had repaired Burge Road here in the Ludington Magnet Middle School and Pembroke, the street that I'm on, and it's terrible. And they came over yesterday, I believe, and they put all the, I don't know what that is, the streets both need to be repaved, period, completely, not just patches up. So if you had, you said you got
Yeah,
stuff
so
on our
I
street.
talked with your Black Hawk president just last week. They are going to be repaving Burke Road. And
What
so,
about my street? You said you got stuck down there when you were
what
looking
street
for
is that?
Pembroke.
Yeah, oh yeah, so there is some work coming to those streets. I don't have the information because I gave everything.
So here's what I'm going to apologize because we have the director of the department that was before us during the budget hearings, and that's something that I had in my mind to ask them about, and I did not. They failed me. I forgot about it. But Daniela, if you can please put something on the keys for me, I'm going to find out why is it that a whole year. Water main issues under this, so it's multiple departments, but there should be, as I told them, communication to the residents about what's going on. And that was a conversation I had with them last year when we talked, and I have to follow up this year. Again, my apologies. We will make sure that we have an update for you, but we're on.
I would appreciate it, and also, like I said, include Pembroke, because as you were trying to find the school, you said you got stuck down there trying to find the school. It's terrible over there.
Yes, ma'am. Another quick hit. Because otherwise, what we're going to do is, if you have any other block-related issues, you're not going anywhere.
No, I'll be sitting back there, so to move your meeting along, I can just.
Yep, so Latrice will be in the back.
I'll be in the back.
She's not leaving.
Nope.
She's going to be here a little bit longer than I do, but again, I have to get out of here and go down to City Council for our budget hearing. So in fact, we did put additional dollars in the budget for additional inspectors. Her question was, did we place are we providing additional budgetary items for blight inspectors? The answer is yes. And not just blight inspectors, but also inspectors to make sure that when businesses are provided tax incentives, that they're following up with those particular agreements.
Okay,
Yes.
Councilman Tate, I have a question. What is the codes being enforced about squatters and neighborhoods? They seem to have more rights than the people that are there paying taxes and trying to keep their property up. I mean, it's unreal how they come in, they destroy a house, they go around the corner, they get in another one and destroy.
So before they had to go through a blight, actually go through eviction. It's not the case anymore because the state law changed. So now you have, again, this is where the NPOs need to get involved, and even the Department of Neighborhoods. Let them know about this particular location, and they will go and
well, I've
begin the
seen
procedure.
people
Now,
come out.
let me just say this. If it is, though, a land bank property, they do now go through the eviction process because it is pseudo-government. So that's the difference. If it's owned by John and Joe Smith, they can remove you. But if it is a land bank property, they do go by the eviction process.
Okay, because we have problems with rats. Roaches was crawling on the outside of the house. There's garbage all in the garage, on the floor. It's just unreal. And we've been fighting this for quite some time.
Who have you called so far?
Yeah, I'll call DPW and Buzzard office. I also locate email Inspector Wesley Wilson. Can't do anything about it.
So
The
we'll
Buzzard
also,
office said that DPW should be able to come out there and get the mess cleaned up, then find the property owner.
yeah, so we'll follow up as well. Before you leave, make sure you please give that location to Danielle, and we will follow up for you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, I was watching you on TV the other night, and you hit a subject that is dear to my group. I'm involved in 4 different groups: Wayne County Assembly, Moratorium Now, We the People, and Freedom Trust. And we've been dealing with 36th District Court for years. What they're doing down there, I think City Council need to have some involvement in it because they don't own that place. We do. So when they say you can't bring a pencil and paper to defend yourself, I think that's crossing the line.
I don't disagree. So, how many of you saw the little story that went out? So there's a writing utensil ban over at 36th District Court. Well, all judges are elected, so keep that in mind.
We're going to unelect them because right now.
So here's what I'm saying. People say that all the time.
No, we mean it.
No, people say that all the time.
We
I'm
mean
telling you, people say that about me.
No, they say it about you.
Not you. What I'm saying is we got to do more than just work. Prince
Yes,
don't
sir.
scare nobody.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't scare anybody.
Yes.
And I'm not saying you should unelect. What I'm saying is we should hold folks accountable. That's number one.
Yeah.
As you know, some of you, okay, first of all, let's go back and tell you what the issue is. So in 2017, 36th District Court, they got a new chief judge. And you had I know this mic is too low. All right, that's much better. All of his body. So, 36th District Court received a new chief judge. I think it was actually a couple of years prior to that, but it was transitioned. You had a special administrator that was there.
Right.
And during that time, similar to what we had, emergency manager, that special administrator started doing a lot of different changes within the court. So, as you know, the court looks way better. I have to give them a round of applause. It looks way better than it did.
They're making enough money.
I'm just saying, a lot better than a number of years ago when I first started. All right? I'm going to give them complete credit. I told the judge that to her face. Thank you. You've done a tremendous job in cleaning up the place. One of the things that they always talk about is, before we came in, we didn't have stalls on the bathroom, didn't have doors on the bathroom stall. That's supposed to be something to clap about because they put doors on the bathroom stall? Yeah, that should be anyway. That's how I look at it. It should be anyway. It shouldn't be something that we should go, yes, and champion. But one of the things that they have now are these vinyls. You probably see them. So if you look back there, you see where it says welcome underneath Miss Alicia George's picture. You may not be able to see it. But all it is like a stencil or it's a sticker, essentially, on the wall. Well, they're afraid that individuals who are coming to the courthouse are going to write on those stencils, on those murals. They're calling them murals. They're not even murals. They're going to write on them or write on the walls or write in the stairways bad things about the judges. And that's what the chief judge said at the city council budget hearing. Now, here's we're requesting you to change that. Review the policy. But remember, there's 3 branches of government. Executive branch, legislative branch, something. We've done what we could. So I made some noise about it, had the news come down about it, went over and met with her about it. But now what are you doing about it? Here's what I'm saying. We talk and we say a lot of words. But if we're really true about this, we gotta do something. So we've got to put some action behind our words. And it's not always easy, but we shouldn't be organizing now over something we were mad about in 2017. This is why it hasn't changed. Because I can only do so much from my standpoint, from my legislative position. So we have a budget. We are contractually or statutorily obligated to fund the court, period. So I can play with it and do all this other stuff, but that's just me pretending, pandering to folks. I'm talking and getting cool. That doesn't work. What changes is when the residents say, you know what, enough is enough. We're not going to tolerate this anymore. And that doesn't mean threats. That means actually holding this person, showing up. Calling the media if you got to call the media. Do something different, but I'm doing my part. When people say city council should, we've done everything we could. Right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. But now it's in the hands of the community. We'll work together. For instance, I had a group that came down to council and they were fire and brimstone. They were angry as well. I'm mad. I said, okay. Well, we're willing to work with them. Because now it helps when you have the community backing you up. Remember that Verizon commercial when the guy turned around and he had all those folks behind him? Can you hear me now? Yeah. That's what we have to do. So I can only be the front for so long. It then comes down to either you deal with me or you deal with them. If I turn around, there's only the wall behind me. And nobody's scared. So we had this group who's full of lawyers, and they found actually a piece of litigation, a case law, that said that it's a violation to actually have a ban on riding utensils. They found that. We provided it. I said, okay, well, here's a little strategy. Maybe you want to call me and let them know that you found it, and maybe you want to even file a lawsuit. Because I can't file a lawsuit. Haven't heard from them since. I turned around and had a wall behind it. So that's what I'm saying. We got to do a little bit more.
Can you make that available so that we can get it?
Sure. Who wants it? If you want it, make sure you get with Danielle and we'll get it to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good afternoon. I am Kamala L. And I wanted to make reference to the fact that the police are coming into the neighborhoods, and now they are they've put these signs. I don't know who put the signs out that that there's a per mile limit for traveling in the areas, and I don't know if that was lawful or not. But what I have
You're not talking about speed limit.
Yeah, they have a speed limit of 25 on the inside the neighborhoods, and then of course out on the main street. So here in Detroit now, you can't go any faster than 40 miles per hour. 8 Mile is 40 miles per hour. So when the lights went out, when they came back on, all the traffic signs for how fast you could travel were all changed. So now up and down, maybe say Schaefer Highway, now you can go 30. 7 Mile, 30 or 35. 8 Mile is the fastest, which is 40. It used to be a time where if you were going up a street or highway that ran into 8 Mile, you'd have to slow down after you got across 8 Mile going into the suburbs. Now you can speed up going into the suburbs because they've lowered the speed limit here in Detroit all over the city.
So what would you like to see? I mean, I don't know a lot of people who complain about lower speed.
Well, the thing of it is what it does is it sets people up to get tickets. It sets them up to get citations going in the city of Detroit. With a motor city, but we can't go any faster than 40 miles per hour anywhere in the city. Now, this is the thing.
No, we can't leave that. I get it. I know that's the thing we feel, but let's talk it out.
Okay.
So we can't go any faster than 45 miles. We should be going faster than that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, for instance, if you're on, we'll just say 6 Mile Road.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 6 Mile Road, you can go, I think it's 35 miles per hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Until you cross Telegraph.
Okay.
Then you can go 40, 45 miles an hour. My point is...
Well, you can't go 45.
Yeah.
Not on the Detroit side.
No, once you cross Telegraph.
Well, Telegraph is still Detroit. It's 5
No, but
points.
it's on the opposite side. It starts Redford.
5 points, ma'am. 5 points.
5 points? Okay.
Yes, 5 points. Trust me, I know this.
Okay, all right. I'm not going to check that. Okay, no problem.
So what I'm saying is, you're advocating. You're saying that the speeds are posted, and you're advocating for a higher rate of speed.
No, I'm not advocating for. I was just trying to use that to get to my point. My point is everybody on this half of the room, pretty much that I can see, other than this gentleman out here, and not saying that he's excluded, not that he's excluded, but that they're exempt. Women in the state of Michigan are exempt from arrest on civil infraction, which would be these rolling stops and traffic things, everything that they come upon that the police stop for, and then take cars. They take the cars for that. Well, there was a Supreme Court decision, but I know most people are not going to know it because it was just signed February 20th, 2019. However,
So before you go, I see some confused faces, and I'm not familiar with that. So you're saying that women are exempt in the state of Michigan,
yes,
from
civil infraction, being detained on any civil process. I have it right here from the state of Michigan.
Okay,
And
so what I would like to do, because we've got to look at that, because I've never heard of it. If that's the case, then that's something that's educating me as well,
Right.
which will give me an opportunity to educate the community. But that's the first time I've heard.
Right. I had spoken to an attorney with Judge Mathis a while back about that, and he said, well, are you saying that the judges don't know about that? I said, of course the judges know about that, but they're not going to tell anybody about it. Can you imagine if all the women in Michigan knew that they were exempt, and the children under 16, from detainment on civil infraction? It's on the exact same MCL. It says arrest exemptions, and it's the same statute that allows for the people going to the House of Representatives and Senate
Yes, ma'am.
for them to be exempt, it also allows for women to be exempt if they say I'm exempt.
I'm troubled with that because that's gender-based
No, but
discrimination from the state at that point.
okay, but
So what we'll do is, because I haven't seen it, so I can't even debate you on the merits of it because I haven't seen it. I would love to get it, and I would talk with my state representative and state senator to find out the genesis of it, if that is, if that interpretation is accurate, and then we'll go from there. We'll definitely spread out to the communities. Again, this is my first time hearing it.
oh, because okay, really quickly, I just wanted to say how it came about, and then you'll understand why it specifically addresses women. Because it went back to like the 1700s when women traveling by themselves, if they were stopped by someone, because at that time if they were by themselves and they were on their way home or something, and they were stopped, their husbands or brothers or fathers or someone was going to want to know where were they. Well, that was a dueling offense to stop them. All right, so that's how it evolved, but it's still on the books at 600.1821 arrest exemptions.
So what we'll do is, because
Okay.
again, before I go out and tell anybody this, gotta do a little research. This is my first time hearing that one.
Well, I would like to leave this with you.
A little challenged on that one person. So Danielle and Aaron, if we can follow up on that one, please. I appreciate it. So, Aaron, we got some more folks over here because I gotta get out and I want to make sure I get as many people as possible. Anybody, Ms. Rhonda, we already talked to you before. Anybody who hasn't had an opportunity to speak before I leave, have any questions for me in particular? Because I do have to get out of here like right now. Tracy. He's got the mic card.
Councilman Tate, I'll make it quick. You were talking about 36th District Court a moment ago. We all know, we may have heard in the media that the Detroit incinerator was shut down. So that's on city land, obviously. So I'm just wondering, the new Wayne County Justice Center is going to be rising on Warren. In 2022, I think that's when the project will be completed. Has there been any rumblings about the possible move of 36th District Court closer to the new criminal court?
In terms of?
Actually physically moving, because as it stands now, Frank Murphy Hall of Justice is just across Gratiot from 36th District Court.
Yeah.
Makes it really simple for lawyers who are handling criminal matters to just go across Gratiot. Once the new Wayne County Justice Center is open and operating, the district court will be much farther away. Just wondering, has there been anything on the radar about a possible move closer?
So there's been always little rumblings about 36D moving. None of them, I think, were legit. I think they're more threats. That's one of the things that the judge actually cited. When I talked to her about Judge Blount, the chief judge, where she cited as a reason why they have to protect the murals because they may have to move them at any time. There's no active plan to move 36D, and I understand where you're coming from. I think space is the biggest issue. That would be something that's outside of my decision making, and I have not heard about 36D moving. That would certainly help in terms of parking, potentially because of the parking for the games that takes place, and it's like $40, $30, but it potentially could cause even more headaches because of the increased individuals coming down for court cases.
Right. For example, yesterday was opening day, and actually 36th District Court was shut down.
Which they do
delaying
on those
justice.
days.
That is ridiculous. I'm an attorney, but
so let me just say this: one thing that we're looking at, and I'm going to cut you off.
Yes.
One of the things that we're looking at right now is identifying what type of legislative action we can make to address the issue of parking on special event days. So again, the reason why they shut it down is because you get this huge influx of folks coming down. That's part of the issue. The other issue is that parking goes up. We're talking again $30, $40.
Absolutely.
Way too expensive if you're coming down for a traffic violation, or if you're coming down to serve on the court, or if you're coming down for fill in the blank for whatever reason. It may be something really quick, but now you have to spend $30, $40 just for parking. So we're working on that right now. So that was part of my conversation also with the chief judge, in addition to the issue of the writing utensil ban. So It's not an easy fix because they're landlocked, and all of the lots around them are privately owned. And so you understand, as an attorney, trying to put something on a private business that has not already been in place is extremely difficult. But we're trying to figure it out. So I've got the law department. We're working with them in municipal parking. Maybe there's a shuttle system that we have. We have a location where we have land and we shuttle people to the courts. That would be a cost, of course. You have to find logistically the right place to place this lot. But that's not to say it's impossible. But I don't see an automatic green light to it either.
Okay, I wondered about shuttles. That's good. So back to the Detroit incinerator. Have you heard anything about what are the plans for that land?
It's still all brand new. It caught us by surprise as well.
Okay.
And so no, right now there's still conversation about it. We're still going to own the property as a city, but in terms of what the new use will be, still undecided.
Thank you. Well, very informative. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. And I want to thank everybody else for being here. Again, I've got to get out of here with my team. We'll wrap it up. Any issues and concerns you have, we will make sure we address them so you don't have to leave just because I left. Again, give yourself a round of applause for me because I only got 2 hands for being here. Thank you all, and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Not a real fun start, folks. All right, folks, we want to leave you a couple of quick announcements before we wrap. Everybody take your pens and paper out, please. All right. We're going to talk about an issue that's very near and dear to my heart. That's the Task Force on Black Male Engagement. I know that you've been out to school walkers in the past, but they're very important. You know, you see a lot of times where men come out and high-five kids on the first day of school. That's fine, Danny, that's cool, but, you know, there's more than the first day of school. We do this year-round. Our next upcoming event we're going to have is April 15th, 7 a.m. over at Madison Carver Elementary Middle School. The address is 19900 Pembroke. Again, for the slow riders, me included. The address is 19900. I'm sorry, McIntyre, not Pembroke. Everybody write down McIntyre. Scratch out Pembroke, okay? This is really important, man. 45 minutes of your time to high-fiving a kid goes a long way. You know, a lot of times kids come out the house or out the car, you can see their faces this long and drawn out. Louder, okay, I got you. Events like this really propel them for the rest of the week. And in 2018, we added additional projects to the Task Force on Black Male Engagement. So when we get done high-fiving the kids at school, we go inside, we do stuff that matters. So for example, in June, we went over to Ludington Magnet Middle School. We built gardens and refurbished them and left the curriculum for the school where kids are actually growing their own vegetables now. We went over to Christ the King in March, and we had a career day. Again, on the 15th, what we're doing April 15th is that we're having a reading event. We're going to stress literacy. So we're going in classrooms, K through 3rd grade, and we're actually reading the book to the students. They can see someone who looks like them, behaves like them, and sets an example for them by reading them a book. April the 15th. All right? So, Madison Carver. We'll start over. April 15th, 7 a.m., Madison Carver Elementary Middle School, 19900 McIntyre. If you know a man, live with a man, got a nephew, son, grandson, go to your church, somebody cousin, we can make sure they're there. We want to have as many men as there as possible. We've had as many as 88. We want 100. Okay? Are there any questions? Can I call Miss Danielle to the front really quick? Danielle? Danielle's going to talk about our D1 CAN initiative. We have an upcoming event that she's been coordinating. You can see she's so enthusiastic about it. Yes, ma'am. We'll be high-fiving and greeting students. Yes. Yes, ma'am. At 7 a.m. They can definitely come. You can give them more information, and I can gladly assign them a classroom. So we'll be there at 7 a.m. You'll be out by 9:15, 9:30. Just in time for you to get to work. Okay? Daniela, let's talk about D1 CAN. April.
I call that magic. Y'all didn't see I shocked Aaron when I grabbed the mic. What am I talking about? Oh, I'm sorry, because you know what? Since I got the mic, I'm going to say this. I I try really hard to get all of the issues and concerns down, and so if I'm short with you, I apologize, but as you can see, I get called back to the room. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take the rest down from here, but if I get called back really easily, so please forgive me. I'm listening, I'm taking notes, I'm still writing things down, but with that being said, I appreciate you.
Hold on. If I look at you funny when you want the microphone, it's because 37 other people are looking at me making angry faces. Some of you all have made a game out of it. I've noticed. I don't have a question. Wait till I get across the room. Just kidding. I got one. And raise your hand. So I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So, District 1 Community Accountability Network. That's my baby, so I am excited about it. So we, like we promised, we're still continuing on with our community forums. And so this will be this flyer here. This month, we are focusing on popular culture and the role it plays in gun violence. So the theme is violence in plain sight. And so I don't think we realize or pay attention to, how often we are bombarded with images of violence, right? So for me, from the time I wake up in the morning, because even if I'm not really awake, I turn on my television and I'm listening to the news. So I already know overnight someone's been shot, maybe multiple people, and sometimes it's in our area and sometimes it's across town or in different locations, but before I'm even out of the bed, I already know that. So then I'm dealing with that. By the time I watch a movie or a video or whatever I do, scrolling social media and Facebook, I'm seeing, people posting things that are happening or just thinking about how much not only you are, but your children are as well throughout their lifetime. And we already know that by the time they reach middle school age, they've already seen at least 8,000 incidents of murder. And so that's a lot. What does that do to you psychologically? How does that impact how you see yourself and your community? And also, not just that, we're asking you guys to support us and bringing awareness to everyone. But how does that impact you in being able to feel like you can make a difference, right? Because again, every day you hear about someone being shot, you hear about people not knowing how to really resolve conflicts without resulting to some form of violence. So we really want to talk about that. I'm bringing someone from Wayne State to really talk more about the data. We're big on that. We can always talk about what we think is happening, but it changes the conversation when you know exactly what's happening and where it's happening within our district. So I'm really excited to have them come and talk because that's a huge piece missing, in my opinion, from this particular initiative. So I'm excited about having that. We'll have a couple experts come and talk about media and how that affects, again, gun violence. And then, we're going to hear from some of our partners. So we're always talking about how we're in partnership with a lot of folks, but sometimes we pack our meetings with so much information, they're not able to really talk about the work that they are doing. So I'm having one of our strongest partners, D-Live, come and talk about everything that they're doing. They're working out of Sinai Grace, which is just outside of our district. But from my understanding, they support a lot of the young men and women that are victims of gun violence from our district specifically. So I really wanted them to be able to come and tell you all what they're doing, how their work is supporting our young people, and what we can do to support them so to continue, right? Because it's not just about supporting our office, but it's also those, again, that we're working in partnership with. So I'm looking forward to that on April 25th. Aaron's giving me Thursday, April 25th, 6 to 8 p.m. We'll do that at the Wayne County Community College District, the Northwest Campus. That's right there on Outer Drive and Southfield Freeway. It'll be from 6 to 8, and I'm looking forward to everybody coming out. I'm hoping there's going to be food. Yeah, no, I know that's dinner time, so we definitely want to respect people's dinner time, and we'll have food. We always have food.
So,
Aaron's coming. Good. Any questions or concerns about the gun violence initiative?
Where can we sign up? Who do we call? Because
you can call our office, 313-224-1999. 1027. That's our main office. And you can ask for me, Daniela Borum. If you don't remember my name, if you just talk about our gun violence prevention initiative.
I'll give you the microphone up here. All right, folks. Last but not least, we have our District 1 monthly meetings. If you guys want to go ahead and mark your calendars down now, it will be April 27th. The location is forthcoming, but please reserve that time on your calendar. April 27th. If you guys haven't had the opportunity to come out to our district, where we bring people who are pertinent to, or topics that are pertinent to you here in District 1. We don't just bring a guy to come out read off a sheet of paper. We bring the department head, the creator, the director, higher ups. So you get it straight from the horse's mouth. But sometimes, often early, they'll debut a lot of information that hasn't been released yet to the masses. That's why you need to sign in. So if you guys notice, there's a sign-in tape. That's not to collect your information for anything political. We've already been elected. That is our way of getting information to you as soon as possible. So if you don't get our e-blast, you're missing out. If you don't get text messages, you're missing out. Because unlike, I know most of you guys have good memories. I'm awful. If I didn't get a text message from the city to put my trash can out, I'd be living in garbage. So it's really good. It's a reminder. It sends you directly to your phone. These flyers come. We promise not to bombard you. And as we wrap, I had a quick question for you all. As you can imagine, it's really hard for us to come up with content for these meetings. You know, we do it once a month, and compared to other districts, I can say that we do a lot of work, and we often are struggling for topics sometimes. Do you guys have any ideas of things you'd like to see in our district? All right, you're blocking the camera.
Thanks, Marino. I've been a Boy Scouting volunteer for almost 40 years and worked in schools, but I want to know what other youth organizations and if there's any interest for any of these groups wanting to start a scout group, which, by the way, Boy Scouting is now Scouting BSA and it's co-ed, so even little girls can join it, but we are hoping to expand more youth activity. We need to reclaim our children and do a better job. All these problems that we're seeing now, I hate to say, starts in the home, and it starts with all of us doing something to teach these children what we should have taught them the last couple generations.
Thank you. We have another question?
I have an announcement.
You need the microphone. You should. Right here.
I have an announcement.
Right here.
Okay, I was going to say a topic suggestion. I'd like to talk with someone from the Parks and Recreation Department to find out what's offered at the centers and at the parks and so forth. Because, you know, I see the kids in the streets and so forth putting up their playing in the street, you know, you have people speeding and so forth. So if people could be more familiar with what's available, there are parks around and there are recreation centers, but I don't think everyone is aware.
Right here. We have another question?
I have an announcement, not a question.
Okay, we got an announcement. Go ahead. President?
This announcement is for anyone that may know of some pre-K through 21-year-old adults who may want to get free vision screenings, eye exams, and eyeglasses. Today until 4 o'clock, from 11 to 4 o'clock at the McKinney Center, which is at 19750 Burt Road. Now there is a consent form that has to be completed, but if you get there, that will be taken care of. Don't let that stop you. So again, this mobile unit will be providing free vision screenings, eye exams, and eyeglasses for ages pre-K through 21 years old at the McKinney Center at 19750 Burt Road until 4 o'clock today.
Thank you. We have two more. Okay.
Next Friday.
You need the microphone, Ms. Hanks.
No, are we meeting the third Friday? You're going to find out, because it's Good Friday.
Gotcha.
Third Friday.
It's third. I will get that answer for you. You get that microphone. Can somebody get the microphone? All right. You know what? I will do both. Hold on.
If you're not, we can send the text out.
We will.
Just to answer your question, and I don't know if Aaron was going to announce it, but I know I have to leave. Metro Youth Day is for the youth. It's the second Wednesday in July. We can use volunteers. We have the Pistons who will be out. I myself will have up a boxing ring. Crown Boxing Community Center will be out amongst Tony Harris's gym and other boxing gyms, downtown boxing. There will be tennis, bowling. There will be a plethora of sporting events on the island. The event will take place on the athletic field, and that's July the 10th. The event starts at 8:30 promptly to 2:30. So that is something that we do every year. We've been doing it for the last 37 years. Also, I wanted to ask you a question about something. The Secretary of State, how and who can I get in touch with? Because the wait is tremendous. It is awful. I went to 3 Secretaries of State Monday, and the wait was anywhere from 2 to 5 hours.
Yeah, that is awful. Now, so 2 things you can do with that one. You can actually call. They have a number on their website to do that. That's the reason they forwarded to it. But you can also check in online. That's what I do. You guys familiar with that? You can go on the website and you can check in. And they'll actually call you when you're about 5 to 10 minutes away from the front of the line. Yeah. Really? Okay. Well, yeah, they give you a number. That's the answer they tell you to do is call the number on their website to make complaint about it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We can follow up with that one, though, okay? That's great. All right. Are there any more questions or concerns that I can help address? Thank you all for coming out. We will see you again, hopefully, this month. We will let that information be known prior to the date. But we thank you so much for coming out. If you have not gotten your drink or beverage on the way out, please do so. And until next time, folks.
So we do that kind of